Hello everyone, and welcome back to Tree of Life Tarot. This is going to be the daily energy read and messages for Wednesday, April 22nd. But of course, tarot is timeless, so trust that if this finds you at a different time or a later date, that it is arriving in divine timing and has a message for you then. So let's get started. I've got our classic Rider-Waite out today. I had a different deck out earlier, and I was told very clearly, put that deck back and pull this one out. Now I'm being told to cut again. So, deck is clear. Let us see. First card out, Page of Wands, okay? And oh, I knew this was gonna come out. I knew it. I could see it when I was cleansing the deck earlier. And, well, we're gonna have to see the clarifiers because this can go a lot of different ways. This is Nine of Swords here is the Nightmare card. And when I say nightmare, I don't mean Dreamtime nightmare. I mean living nightmare, being stuck in the mind, not being able to sleep, replaying events or concerns or anxieties over and over and over and being stuck in that loop that it just consumes you. It's not a fun energy to be in. It is that excess of mental energy that keeps you just trapped and miserable. And then we have our Page of Wands here. So I'm on the fence as to whether this is an influence causing the Nine of Wands. Well, of course it's an influence. It's out here with the Nine of Wands. Whether this is another person or whether this is a step that you are taking that you are afraid of. Page of Wands is that kind of youthful kind of ignition of passion, of curiosity. It's my card of flirtation, but flirtation doesn't have to be romantic. It can be kind of like flirting with an idea, flirting with a possibility. Flirting with just something that seems kind of fun right now. But this could also be another energy that just, it's almost a little bit of a fool energy, a little bit just consumed with its own interest, and that can bring some chaos, and perhaps that's either a fear of impending chaos or is already causing the chaos. Bottom of the deck, I'll mention that we have the Hanged Man, which is a pause or suspension in action in order to gain a new perspective, to see the higher perspective. And I will say our Page of Wands is the opposite of Hanged Man here. Our Page of Wands is action-oriented. So perhaps this is action that you don't want to take yet because you're still trying to get perspective. Now that I want to acknowledge that Knight of Pentacles did come out. It wasn't quite reversed, but it was kind of sideways. So I want to remember that as we go through, because that can be significant if that is. All right, I'm being told to take them in this order. Okay. Cover him up there. One more. Whoa. All right, 3 just came out very deliberately, and I'm being told to take them. So that's okay. Let's get into it. Bottom of the deck, Page of Cups. So another sort of small, young energy, a small offering, more of an offering from the heart, an expression of feeling. This is it's a very gentle and kind sort of energy. And it's almost like that person when you've been a little stuck who reaches out and is like, hey, you want to make plans? I miss seeing you. You want to do something? That just kind of gives you that lifeline to kind of come back to life a bit. And that's sort of what I'm getting from this Page of Cups, but we'll see. So our Knight of Pentacles, who came out a little wonky. This is very slow moving energy. It is movement, and it is movement in the material 3D realm, but it's very slow moving. It's, it's just a step up from a page, and it's kind of growing that pentacle a bit, and it's, it's like the pentacle on the move. which is the step up from the page, because the page for me, the Page of Pentacles in particular, is my card of a small offering, like an initial investment or a small kind of, whether it's a monetary investment or a small investment of yourself in a new opportunity or a new venture or just some kind of, engagement in the tangible realms. Once that offer is made, it sets things in motion. And so now we see our Knight of Pentacles taking that pentacle into motion. Now, it came out almost reverse. So I want to acknowledge that. This could be confusion about direction. And I'm going to say that probably is a bit of the case with the Wheel of Fortune here. And what I'm getting, let me say this, because that's why I'm still acknowledging it upright, because it was not completely reversed. It was sideways. And immediately followed by the Wheel of Fortune tells me that wheel is spinning. So this knight is on the move, but might feel like he's spinning, like there's a bit of a disorientation. And that's also a natural thing to happen when we begin initiating movement in our lives in the 3D realm. Is, okay, we've locked into something. He's locked in. Our Knight of Pentacles is locked in, that's for sure. But when we make that choice, we are coming out of potential energy and into kinetic energy. And that's going to start influencing and shaping the environment around us. And things will then, of necessity, have to reorient around this decision that we've made. And reorient, that's a positive thing. As we make choices, as we lock into certain things and decide to go in a certain direction, other things fall away, but others come into alignment. But we can be sort of sitting in that energy of things reorienting themselves. And that can be a little bit of a confusing energy to sit in. It can feel uncomfortable. And that's a bit what I'm getting with that Knight of Pentacles sideways. And then followed by the Wheel of Fortune that tells me, and that Wheel of Fortune is upright. So that means it is turning. Things are changing. This is, the initiative, I will say, of this Knight of Pentacles. And it could be that the Wheel of Fortune initiated the Knight of Pentacles. It could be that the Knight of Pentacles initiated the Wheel of Fortune. In either case, it's turning. So there is change here. It's slow. And I want to acknowledge that there is probably some disorientation, confusion, maybe second guessing and self-doubt. We have the Nine of Swords here because of this change. It's like, I think this is really it in a nutshell. A decision has been made to move forward. And now all the anxiety comes up. You make the choice and then it's like, oh God, what have I done? And things are going to start to shift around you and come into place, but then all that anxiety does arise. So, and I'll jump ahead real quick to the Eight of Swords. Remember, this is a trap of the mind. So that anxiety that comes up, I want to acknowledge, number one, it's very natural. It is a very natural thing to have made a choice and then suddenly all the doubt comes rushing in. However, that's also just a mechanism of the ego trying to keep you safe. So recognize it, see it for what it is. It is not a real fear. And that's not to say be reckless and don't do your due diligence. It's just to say that those voices coming in saying, oh God, what have I done? I've made the wrong decision. Here's everything that can go wrong. That is the ego doing what it's meant to do, trying to keep you safe. And you can look at it and say, I see you. I recognize and acknowledge these fears. And now they're going to sit in the back seat because we're on the move. This pentacle is on the move. And so we come here to the center with our Queen of Pentacles. And I mean, really, the Queen of Pentacles right now is kind of where we're headed. It's the energy we want to be moving into. And I will say I'm getting, because of this kind of, I don't even want to have him upright. I want him to be like acknowledged that this is a little bit of a wonky Knight of Pentacles. This is not a wonky queen. This is a settled queen. This is a queen who has arrived in her own being. She represents, mothering, nurturing, has all of the abundance of the natural realm around her. She's look how serene she is in her place, in her rightful natural place. This is where she belongs. So our Knight of Pentacles is in many ways sort of on his quest to arrive either as the Queen of Pentacles or with the Queen of Pentacles, possibly, if he's bringing this as an offering to her. But in any case, this is where we're headed. This is, you know, the Queen we either want to be with or become. And, you know, notice the difference. As I already said, this is kind of energy in motion, a little disorienting. This is the settling of that energy, and not settling in a diminishing kind of way, as settling in a like, oh, it's like the opposite. It's like expanding into, but in a grounded, very powerful, and also very serene kind of way. So I already touched on our Eight of Swords here a bit. So this is the mind doing what the mind does. And so acknowledging that there's a lot of anxiety here. There's a lot of anxiety here, but she is not trapped. We'll see what clarifies this. But I think the story is quite clear, and I think this is coming out to speak to the process. And this might be, you know, I'm reminding myself of a reading I did not long ago where extra cards came out like this, and the Eight of Swords came out with them. And I think the Sun was in that reading as well, and it was like the Eight of Swords is what was blocking the Sun. Now, these are now separate, so even if this is an extension, the Eight of Swords is no longer blocking the Sun. The Sun is shining on its own. So let's have a look at these three. So Six of Pentacles, Two of Pentacles, and the Sun card. So this tells me, number one, you may be juggling a lot right now. There may be, this is another card for me, this Two of Pentacles of learning in motion. It's like things are up and down, up and down. Notice those waves behind him. He's trying to figure out, and this is a natural, mind you, natural here. What the waves do, that up and down, that's natural. And then notice the Mobius strip here. This speaks to infinity. This is the cycles of life, the endless flow of things flowing in and out and in and out. So he's learning the dance of life, essentially, the endless dance of life, this flow that's always happening. But it's tough to learn. You know, there's a learning, talk about curves, there's a learning curve here, and this motion is forcing a new kind of learning and to find a new balance. I'm hearing actually very clearly getting your sea legs. You know that expression? Because, you know, people go out to sea and those boats are rocking with the waves, and you have to find a different point of balance within yourself that can handle and help you move freely and fluidly while a boat is rocking underneath and all around you. So there's a need to find a new place of inner balance because of this motion, because of these very real changes that are happening. Six of Pentacles here. This is my card of divine intervention, so that could be a factor here. It is a card of sort of an unexpected windfall of generosity, of help coming from an unexpected place. This is a card of generosity. I'm sort of getting this coming to you. There's a sense of someone coming in and helping bring this Sun forward. Whether it's divine intervention, but I am, in this particular spread, I'm getting a little more of a sense of this being an actual person who, you know, I was on a boat once. I'm thinking about my little sea legs analogy here. And, you know, one of the things they had on the boat was like ginger tea in case people got seasick. Now, that's a small example, but it's just like, the point is the help that came like in the form of this tea on this boat was help that was specific to the context and the specific concerns within that context. So whatever help is going to come here, this is not just random general someone throwing some help at you. This is specific targeted help that is relevant and specific to the context you need help in. And this just lightens everything because the Sun is present. The Sun is the happiest card. It's also a card that says yes. So if there is a question here, your answer is yes. Okay, let's clarify. Okay, thank you, Spirit. 5 more, please. I'm being told, hold on. Just want to cut this deck one more time. I'm being told to, I want to acknowledge the 8 of Cups is upright and has been upright this whole time. I'm going to flip it back over. That does speak to sort of walking away from something unfulfilling. And whoa, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm being told to take it. Now, I don't know if you all just saw that, but these cards came right out and they came out upside down. I'm going to flip them back over, but we're going to acknowledge that they are all in reverse. And what that is telling me, hang on, I'm being told to put them in the reverse order. So bear with me while we get this. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Okay. What this is telling me, since these are all in reverse, and you know, reverse doesn't mean bad, and it certainly does not mean bad in this context. It's just that this wheel's turning, so right now it's all a little topsy-turvy. And these, as the wheel turns, as this situation gets sorted out, these will come upright. So this is almost a sense of this is what's waiting in the wings or sort of beneath the surface to come up as the wheel turns, as the sun begins to shine on it, this all gets to rise. But right now, these are a little bit underground. All right, I'm gonna flip them over now so I can read them because it's a little disorienting looking at 5 cards upside down. Okay, but the point of the reversal was what I just said. They are coming into upright as this wheel turns, as the situation resolves. And real quick, bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. So, you know, working with the elements, creating. I don't know if this is you or if this is like somebody else influencing the situation. This is sort of what's beneath the surface. We'll think about that. The Magician, I also want to say this. Magician can be a trickster energy. And trickster is neither good nor bad. It's just a little bit mischievous. It can present a little bit misleading. It can be things are not what they seem. It's a little bit like pulling the wool over your eyes, like the illusionist. I am getting that this is a person. We'll see. Okay, so Page of Cups. What I'm getting here actually pretty clearly with this Page of Cups is there's an offering that wants to be made. This Knight of Pentacles, even though he's moving in the Pentacles realm, and remember we had at the very beginning, this Page of Cups was at the bottom of the deck. So there is a message from the heart, an invitation that wants to be extended. And perhaps our Knight of Pentacles is on the move to deliver this. This is what he's sort of carrying. So it's a physical quest, but it's carrying, you know, a soul emotional message or meaning. Death with the Wheel of Fortune. Now I see why I was meant to reverse those cards. This is what's happening with the Wheel of Fortune. Both of these cards speak to cycles. Notice the wheel on Death's flag. This is a natural process of sort of things breaking down, alchemizing, being reborn, resurrecting in new form. So there is, I'm getting here, a necessity of something to change. I'll be honest, I'm not seeing exactly what it is. And maybe you have already, as this resonates with you, identified sort of what is at play here. But I am getting there is something that does need to change. Something that can be let go of. But death, I will say, the Wheel of Fortune and death, these are natural forces working together. And we go from the Page of Cups to the 3 of Cups. And notice, this is a card of celebration. It's getting together with friends. It's collaboration. It's reunion. You know, this is always my card of like, go hang out with your girlfriends. That might not apply to everyone here, but if that's for you, then there's a message. I talked about with this Page of Cups, there being a sense of like extending that invitation, like reaching out to somebody and saying, hey, let's hang out, to kind of get the life flowing again. There's a lot of movement here, actually. And so with the Queen of Pentacles, you know, her being, and I'm getting the strong sense of she's attracting this in, like this is coming to her because she's so in her being right now. And notice her robe is kind of very similar to our figure down here in the front. It's like as she comes back into herself, there's a desire to share it with others. Chariot with the 8 of Swords. So this is bringing things back into balance. And this is also forward movement. And I actually really love this with the 8 of Swords. Because so often what we need to break out of this 8 of Swords and 9 of Swords energy is a little bit of motion. Is to re-engage. Is because like this is, you know, when there's too much stagnancy, when there isn't stuff that you just sort of have to attend to and keep moving, this can get stuck. And the fact that both of these are out indicates a lot of stuck mental energy. So there is a desire for things to move, get on the move again. And this is like balance in motion. It's like this, you know, the wheel turning reorganizes everything. It rebalances things, but it's like you have to be on the move to make that wheel turn. So forward motion will alleviate and resolve the 8 of Swords here, which also really confirms our Page of Wands up here with our 9 of Swords. You know, small movement. Small movement, and now I'm seeing more that this is going to help the 9 of Swords. It's like being caught between wanting to sit and overthink and that initial getting back out there. And I'm going to say, get back out there, because nobody wants to be here. Okay, and then we have our King of Cups. Underneath the Sun, 2 of Pentacles, 6 of Pentacles. This is the highest form of love. And I'm mindful that we started with the Page and with the King here, and it's like what I'm wondering with this pause here is this a progression from the Page to the King, or is this a message from the King and now he's arriving? I don't think this is you. So this could be who's coming in to help. But I do get that this is like a maturation. It's like you're learning a new form of love. That's actually what I'm getting here. Oh my gosh, thank you, Spirit. Yeah, now that's really kind of coming in clear now. This Page of Cups, it's like this is what you thought love was, or was the kind of love that you'd only kind of previously experienced, which is a small love. It's love, but it's a small love. And this journey, this experience and the turning of the wheel, and as, you know, it's like this Page of Cups, that one cup gets put in with these 3 cups, and it all gets to grow until it becomes the 10 of Cups, until there's this is the highest expression of love. A more mature love. A fuller love. He rules the emotions. They don't rule him. He's not at the mercy of them, and he's not, you know, just learning about them like our Page. He embodies them in a healthy way. He's not being overpowered. He is not 9 of Swordsing with his cup. So this quest, and I will say, like, if there's been a fear, like this could be fear of intimacy, fear of love. Take it, you know, how it resonates for you. But all of this mental energy, these fears, these like mental constructs, that's what's got to die. That's what death is here, and the Wheel of Fortune is here to just get rid of that stuff. And it is only through experience and movement, experience, putting in the Three of Cups, joining in with others in that dance, in that exchange. This is a dance here. And the Chariot is movement. That the experience is built to embody the King of Cups. That the cup expands enough to hold all that love is, not just our little page idea of what love might be. You know, this page is adorable, but like he's not experienced. It's like, oh, let's go on a little quest and talk to this fish and see what, you know, see what this love business might be. He has no idea. Our king does. And this is losing that immaturity and growing into something real and releasing these mental blocks, this anxiety that's keeping you stuck and away from it. And our Page of Wands here is, you know, there's a little bit of, I almost wanted to say taking a risk, and I'll say that because it came to me and that might be there for someone. But this is also another card of immaturity. No, not immaturity. Impulsivity is what I wanted to say, but impulsivity and immaturity sort of go together. And look how the sun is shining. Look how there are resources available. Look at that deeper balance that comes with the King of Cups. So this is what this process is growing you into. I take back what I said previously about this not being you. This is I do thing, but it's not just you. It's representing the archetypal embodiment of this love that you are growing into or coming to learn. And so now, mind you, these 5 cards here were reversed when they came out. So it is this process up here, this Knight of Pentacles on the move, the Wheel of Fortune, finding the balance, becoming stable in oneself, that is allowing these cards down here to flip upright. This is a process that wants to happen. And it will. Wheel of Fortune, you know, these are natural forces. You can't stop them from happening. And the Magician I'm here is seeing, this is sort of like divine intelligence orchestrating all of the elements that are taking place here. So this is sort of divinely aligned, divinely orchestrated. There is a real sense of orchestration here. You know, it's like dominoes. One thing falls and the next thing falls and they all kind of come together into shape. Okay, so that's really quite beautiful. I think I've talked enough for a daily, so I'm going to leave that there. There's a lot in this. Watch it again if you need to, because there's a lot in this. So I hope that's served, and I will be back to talk to you soon. Take care. Hi friends, I just signed off, but I'm coming back to bring you this message because I was sitting with this for a moment afterwards, and a song started playing in my head. And the song is Bring Me a Higher Love. I think it's called Higher Love. Steve Winwood, or maybe there's a band. But I looked at the lyrics, and I'll link to them in the description box. Or at least I'll link to the music video on YouTube. But the lyrics in that song really speak to everything we were talking about here. So I would encourage you to go look at the lyrics of that song. And I would also encourage you, again, look at that. And if this reading resonates, this is a big reading. There's a lot here. So revisit this or watch it again if you need to sort of absorb these lessons further. But I wanted to offer that song because I do think it is really linked into this. So again, many blessings. Talk to you soon.